Good morning and welcome to Korea Today live from Seoul.
Heat wave warnings have been issued across the country, and this furnace-like heat took the lives of 2 people, including a construction worker on site yesterday. And be warned, it's not letting up just yet.
And stay being warned, the government has unveiled its tax revision laws. Details coming up in headlines.
And a new smartphone was unveiled yesterday at New York's Lincoln Center. We'll tell you which on In Print.
So many summer rock festivals to choose from. It's a chance to blast away the heat and look good doing it. It's not just studs and leather. We'll show you how to rock in style. And are you feeling drained from the summer heat? Korean food to help you replenish your body, mind, and soul. We show you the heartiest dishes to invigorate your taste buds. On Friday, August 9th, 2013.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
Good morning and welcome to Korea Today on this Friday morning.
Yes, happy Friday to everyone. Now, Korean presidents in the past have issued presidential pardons to many people in line with major public holidays. And with Liberation Day right around the corner, an official was quoted as saying that there haven't been any talk of presidential pardons in any meetings so far. He also pointed out that if preparations were underway for pardons by the Park Geun-hye administration, there would already be talk of it right now.
That's right. These special pardons have been given to traffic violators, first-time offenders of misdemeanors, and also model prisoners, as well as some high-profile figures in the past. But there has been criticism that this hurts the principle of law, and we know that President Park Geun-hye has been a staunch opponent of this practice.
Well, it looks like the president is staying very strong and staying in line with her original stance, which means that I'm going to have to pay for those parking tickets.
Pay the price, right? All right, well, we'll begin Korea Today with a look at the day's headlines.
For 11 days in a row, Korea has been under a heat wave alert. And on Thursday, the country experienced the hottest day of the season so far. Heat wave warnings have been in effect for the past 4 days. In the country's southeastern city of Ulsan, the mercury hit 40 degrees Celsius, the highest for the region since records were kept.
Due to a stronger than usual high-pressure system in the North Pacific region, not only Korea but also China and Japan are experiencing clear days with unusually high temperatures.
Officials say at least 2 people died on Thursday of heat stroke nationwide. And with higher demands for air conditioning, a level 1 warning for power shortage was issued on Thursday as well. Energy officials say they will likely have to elevate the warning by a notch to level 2 or the attention level on Friday. There's less than a week to go until the 2 Koreas sit down for their 7th round of working-level talks aimed at resuming operations at the joint Kaesong Business Park. Late Thursday afternoon, North Korea sent an unexpected notice through the truce village of Panmunjom saying, quote, "We hope the 2 Koreas will cooperate and try hard to bear good fruit in the 7th meeting," end quote. Skeptics, however, say Pyongyang may be crafting an excuse to blame Seoul if the complex faces a complete closure and would likely say it tried its best to save the last remaining symbol of inter-Korean cooperation. Meanwhile, citing recent satellite images, the U.S.-based Institute for Science and International Security says North Korea has doubled the floor space of its Yongbyon uranium enrichment facility over the period of just 6 months. The think tank adds the larger floor space could allow twice the number of centrifuges to be installed at the facility. The government has announced a revised set of tax laws on Thursday. With the revision, some 4.3 million workers will see their taxes increase starting next year. Now, people with annual incomes between $36,000 to $62,000 will have to pay an average of $143 more in taxes. That figure jumps to $296 for people within the income bracket of $62,000 to $72,000. Those who earn somewhere between 72,000 and 80,000 will be slapped with an extra $880. And people with incomes that exceed $270,000 will have to pay an average of $7,000 more in taxes next year.
On the subject of having to pay more taxes, we would like to say the revisions are designed to impose higher tax rates on people in the higher income bracket.
But regular salaried workers say it's still unfair for people in the average or lower income brackets to be paying any more taxes. 15 related tax laws need to be revised or amended before the new tax code can go into effect. The government aims to have the revision bills reviewed and voted on by the end of September. Korea's second largest dairy company, Mail Dairy, was gearing up to hike its milk prices by more than 10% starting Thursday, but those plans appear to have been put on hold for now. Buckling under pressure from the government and bad public sentiment, the country's distribution industry decided to reduce retail margins to keep the price as it is, prompting the dairy industry to put their planned price hike on hold for the time being. Most major supermarkets will continue to sell milk at its current price, and major convenience stores that have already hiked the price are reportedly considering bringing it back down. The country's biggest dairy company, Seoul Milk, was scheduled to raise its milk price starting Friday, but the company has announced that it will also put the price hike on hold for now.
And happy Friday, everyone. As we arrive at the end of the work week, a lot of Koreans are waking up to headlines capturing those proposed tax law revisions you just heard about in Hyungyung's headlines. The story is the top on all of our newspapers today. We'll take a look at it on Gyeongyang Shinmun. Now, the headline reads, workers with annual incomes more than 34.5 million won, that's about 31,000 US dollars, to pay more taxes. Now, that 34.5 million won figure refers to the taxable income after tax credits are applied. It's part of the tax reform plan that the Ministry of Strategy and Finance announced yesterday, which would raise the amount of taxes paid for some 28% of the populace, or 4.3 million people, while those affected by the changes, according to the paper, it will be 11.9 million. Now, the changes are set to begin next year, and the paper says the government projects it will bring in an additional 2.49 trillion won, or 2.2 billion US dollars, over the next 5 years. And the essence of the change is that the tax system will be revised to a tax credit system from the current end-of-year tax deduction system, under which the paper says those in the high income bracket have generally benefited under Korea's cumulative tax system. Now, opposition parties do have voiced their disagreement, and the paper projects that the plan will face hurdles when it goes through the National Assembly in September. All right, scooting on right over to 동아일보 next. It also has the same story with a similar headline. It adds at the beginning there, squeezing the middle class, annual income earners of 31,000 US dollars or more to pay more in taxes. Adding in the article that while it is good to correct a taxation system that was favorable to the high income earners, it's questionable whether the benefits given to the middle and lower middle class was necessary. Meanwhile, the front page image captures the extreme heat the country saw yesterday, showing people cooling off at a park along the Han River in Yeouido. And we do have more pictures coming up. Let's take a look at the one on 조선일보. The image title reads, "Country in sizzles on heat wave. Ulsan soars to 40 degrees Celsius." And that breaks the triple digit mark in Fahrenheit, as it is more than 100 degrees, 104 to be exact. And Ulsan did record the hottest day since 1932. And you can see the heat rising from the asphalt as the residents carry on with their day, also weighed down by the high humidity. And we do also have more people cooling off at Seoul's Han River Park over at 중앙일보. And, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this side story here. The main story also talks about the tax revision plan there. So the headline for this side story reads, "No special pardons on Liberation Day," in line with the president's promise. Now, Liberation Day, or Gwangbokjeol in Korea, is coming up on the 15th, next Thursday. And all signs appear to show that President Park Geun-hye will not be issuing special pardons this year, as has been the tradition to commemorate important holidays in the past. Now, the newspaper cites unnamed Cheongwade sources who say that there seems to be no plans to proceed with pardons and that the topic was never brought up in meetings. Now, President Park Geun-hye had pledged during the presidential race that she would exercise the right only in a strictly restrictive manner. And finally, taking a look at our business newspaper for today. It also has those two big stories on the front page, the hot weather story to the right here. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the image, which shows a new product introduction with the title LG's Ambitious G2 unveiled in New York. And that is a presser that was held at the Home of Jazz at Lincoln Center yesterday. One of the cool features of the phone is that it has a 1.3 megapixel rear-facing camera. Okay, the Galaxy S4 has that too, but wait for it. It also has an optical image stabilizer technology, which is a first for a smartphone camera. So with that, we'll wrap your look at what's in print on this Friday. Next up are your closing numbers from Thursday's market action.
Recently, the Japanese government conducted an opinion poll, a public opinion poll at a very large scale regarding the Dokdo Islets, creating yet another stir. Now, many are seeing this as Tokyo's new strategy to garner even further support over its territorial claims over Korea's Dokdo Islets.
Territorial claim over Dokdo by Japan has been a constant source of tension between the two neighboring countries, especially around August 15th, Liberation Day, when Korea was liberated from Japan's 35-year colonial rule. Let's find out more in detail.
Dokdo is located in Ulleung County, North Gyeongsang Province in Korea's East Sea. The size of Dokdo is roughly 188,000 square meters, and it's the country's natural monument number 336, located southeast of Ulleung Island. Dokdo is clearly indicated as Korean territory in different Korean historical documents, including those dating back to the Three Kingdoms and Kim Sejong's period. But in 1905, Japan started forcefully claiming ownership of the islets, calling it Takeshima, and including the territory in the Japanese country boundary marked map of the Shimane prefecture. And with this continues the territorial dispute over the Korea's islets. But recently, the Japanese government announced the results of a public opinion poll conducted in June. The survey conducted on 3,000 Japanese citizens was on Dokdo, and it was the first ever survey conducted nationwide in Japan on the topic. The vast majority of the participants, 94.5%, said they were aware of Dokdo, and of that 60.7% of them said Dokdo is historically and legally Japan's territory. Also, 63% said Korea was illegally occupying the islets. In addition, 71% of those surveyed said they are interested in the Dokdo issue, and 77.8% said they learned about the islets and the issues surrounding them through television and newspapers.
As opposed to objectively asking its citizens how they feel about the Korean islets, the Japanese government's goal was to first advertise its position to the public and then gather their opinions.
On top of Japan's already existing controversies over the sovereignty claims of the Dokdo Islets, this recent and first public opinion poll served as a new way for the Japanese government to ignite controversy surrounding the islets. In response to the recent situation, the South Korean Foreign Ministry has firmly protested the move, expressing its strong opposition on how the Japanese government used the public opinion poll as a pretext to further its false claims over Dokdo.
The South Korean government strongly protests Tokyo's recent public opinion poll about Dokdo, as it used the survey to once again claim rights over the islets. Dokdo is historically, geographically, and by international law Korean territory, and we firmly urge the Japanese government to stop such actions.
After the spokesperson's remarks, the Foreign Ministry called in Takehiro Funakoshi from the Japanese embassy in Seoul to relay Seoul's strong stance on the issue. Koreans remain firm on their stance regarding Dokdo, and they believe the territorial claims made by Japan are deplorable and unworthy of either a dispute or compromise.
It's no secret that we have a lot of evidence proving Dokdo is Korean territory, but I don't understand why the Japanese government continues to argue it's theirs.
I want people to know more about Dokdo and actively advertise this issue around the world.
With this, civic campaigning on the issue of Dokdo is on the rise. The Voluntary Agency Network of Korea, in conjunction with Cyber Dokdo Academy, runs an annual Dokdo camp to educate and inform the public about the islets. Not only that, Korean PR expert and professor Seok Duk set up a Dokdo school to raise further awareness on Dokdo-related issues. That's not all. Singer Kim Jung-hoon has hosted a Dokdo concert, and an advertisement about the islets has also been posted around New York's Times Square, among other various campaigns.
Japan wants to turn Dokdo into a territorial dispute area. In order for our government to not fall into this trap, it's important that we sufficiently prepare ourselves politically and diplomatically for a potentially growing Japanese public sentiment over the islets.
Korea and Japan have faced diplomatic hardships due to the issue of Dokdo, and for the past year, with endless inappropriate remarks from Japanese leadership about the Korean islets, the two countries still have much to bridge.
Still have much to bridge, that's for sure. And Dokdo is one of many issues that stand in the way of a better relationship between Seoul and Tokyo. And it's worth noting that the leaders of South Korea and Japan have yet to meet for a summit.
And some extreme skeptics go even far as to say because Korea celebrates being liberated from Japan's colonial rule in August every year, that's why Japan goes and raises issues regarding Dokdo Islets this time of the year. And a very sensitive issue for Koreans, a lot of Koreans.
It always seems to happen on an annual basis around this time. All right, it's 18 minutes past the hour on Korea Today, and now we're going to head on over to Lee Dami, who's joining us in Gangnam style from the district of Gangnam, right?
Right.
All right, Dami, good morning.
Good
Tell
morning,
us what the weather's
Dami.
going to be like.
Good morning, everyone, and TGIF. I am reporting live from Gangnam, right outside Gangnam Station. Now, this morning in the north central regions, including Seoul, we will be seeing signs of sporadic showers this morning as there is a low trough passing through the north. As for the heat, it looks like it is still much of a concern as about 70% of the nation are still under heat wave alerts. There is a concern of the number of heat-related illnesses and deaths that are steadily rising. So why not take the time to maybe call your loved ones, especially those that are residing in the most affected areas. All right, well, let's go ahead and check the temperatures across the nation. Seoul will look the coolest, but still quite hot at 31 degrees Celsius. Daegu will be the hottest at 37. Moving over to Gwangju and Jeju Island, both will rise to 35 degrees. Now here in Seoul, also Gyeonggi and Gangwon provinces, tomorrow we can expect sporadic showers once again, and it looks like the heat will get worse on Sunday. That's all I have for the weather forecast. I'll be back in the latter half.
We've shown you plenty of holiday options for the summer so far, but what if your best buddy is not a hairy one, but a furry one. Our Eunice Kim takes us to a beach where you can go with your four-legged friends. Good morning, Eunice.
That's right. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. So these four-legged creatures have become a very big part of our lives these days, and now there's a concept of an 애견해변, or a pet beach, where you can actually take these pets to the beach, right?
That's right, and I think this is a reflection of how, I guess, people viewed pets in the past. People generally thought that dog at home was traditionally a guardian of your house as opposed to a member of the family, but that is shifting, and especially when you consider the growing pet population set soon to reach 1 million. Now, it's in this context that the eastern coastal city of 강릉 is testing out the idea of a pet-friendly beach where both pet owners and their four-legged friends can run free without having to watch other people's reactions. Take a look.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, but for Fido, things are getting a bit better. From doggy school to dedicated photo studios and even a seat on the plane, the commercial world is perking up to the needs of our furry friends. Pet cafes, like this one in Northwest Seoul, double up as a place to hang out with your pets and a doggy babysitting service.
We're running a dog hotel where dog owners can have their pets stay with us when they're on a trip or away from home for an extended period of time.
So what does one do when one wants to get away with their furry friends?
Before, without dog hotels, it was hard to take my dog with me on vacation, so I rarely went on holiday anywhere.
Enter the Pet Beach, a stretch of sand that welcomes Fido and his friends to stay and play. Though it opened relatively late on July 12th, the beach has already had plenty of visitors. As many as 400 dogs come on the weekends after their human counterparts learn of the place via internet buzz and other media. Many are experiencing the beach for the first time and getting used to sand between their paws. This experiment to set aside a stretch of the beach for pets and their owners was made possible because of one man's dream. Son Soo-il, a lifeguard of many years at the beach and a pet owner himself, said he saw the need.
With the number of dog owners reaching almost 1 million now, there still aren't that many places to take their pets in the city to walk them or let them play. So I thought if I created a beach for the pets, they would be able to have all the fun they want within this area.
Son is working with the city government to test the idea. In fact, traffic to surrounding beaches is said to have grown 8% since the pet beach was set up.
As you can see, there's all types of canines here, big and small. Now, the beach itself is not very big at 300 meters, but users of the beach say it's heaven on earth for them.
It's great since the dogs can just run around freely.
Up until now, when they didn't have a dog hotel, I would keep my dog with a vet or at home. But now it's great since we can all come on vacation together.
But not everyone is crazy about sharing the beach with furry friends. Some are uncomfortable about swimming in the same waters with the animals and other concerns.
If the owner doesn't take care of their pets properly, they run around a lot and we end up seeing a lot of dog excrements piling up, so it's not nice.
The pets didn't necessarily come here because they wanted to. They came because of their owners, so I do wonder if this is really looking out for the pets.
At the pet beach, there are ready tools for cleaning up after your pet, and the beach staff sanitize the grounds at set hours during the day.
Dog owners call their puppies children, so they call this place heaven for their children. They can run around, bark all they want, and it's great that the pet owners can be together with them. That's what a lot of owners tell us. They also say they want more places like this and that they want to come back here next year.
And this first attempt at a designated pet-friendly beach will run until the end of this month, that is the 26th of August, which is when the beach-going season ends as well. After that, the Gangneung City government will review the accrued response and decide on how to progress for the next summer season.
Did the manager say anything, reveal any extra information on what he plans to do?
Well, he certainly has no shortage of ideas, Hyung-kyung. He wants to build a playground for the canines on the beach and also a large freshwater pool for the smaller dogs to swim freely in as well. What they need first, though, is fencing to keep the dogs within a safety zone, and all of this, of course, amounts to money. So the city will evaluate whether this could be an investment opportunity for them in the long run.
Well, it looks like they might be actually onto something. This could open up new markets for veterinarians to come in, pet food and pet supplies, as well as pensions and little hotels for
you
dogs.
You have a host of ideas there, too. He took it to another level right there.
I should just jump in that business over there, right?
I think he's onto something as well. I do agree.
Well, it sounds great, especially as a dog owner. You could just let your dogs free. Thanks for that story, Eunice.
My pleasure. Have a great weekend, guys.
You too.
Here at Imjinggak, Paju, not too far away from North Korean border, we are here celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Korean War armistice. A lot of celebrities and fans are here for the event. Still to come on Korea Today.
Well, in Korea, during the summers, we've seen the rock festivals become more popular year by year. We've had the Ansan Valley Rock Festival as well as the Pentaport, and the list of headliners has been increasing as well. But that's not all. The fashion has been changing and trending at the same time.
That's right. These are rock festivals we're talking about, so you really got to rock your look. And so leave those blazers and khakis at home when you go to these festivals. But apparently, leather and studs are not the it look. So we went to the Jisan Rock Festival to find out what the it look is. So let's take a look.
A rock festival to blast away the summer heat. It's more than just a performance in Korea. Rock festivals have created a new culture of traveling and camping while there. And with this comes the new rock festival fashion. What to wear is the burning question for many. Comfortable but fashionable, you need it all at a festival. So we're going to show you how to rock in style at one of Korea's largest rock gatherings, Jisan World Rock Festival. First up in rock festival fashion is rain boots. One of the most important elements to rock your look is your shoes.
Because the date of the festival is set, you can look up the weather, and if it's going to be rainy, it's a great idea to take rain gear with you to enjoy the festival more.
With the unpredictable monsoon rain, rain boots have become an essential item for rock festivals. And this year is no exception. Many rock fans are geared up in their boots. But when it's not raining, you need an extra pair of comfortable shoes to make sure you can jump all you need. If you match up gladiator shoes, rain boots or walker boots with a funky rock festival look, you complete your style. And second up is adding a funky twist. This look leads the free-spirited trend of rock festivals. Ripped jeans with wide print t-shirts or checkered clothes are some of the leading items for this style. Loose denim vests are especially easy to match up with fun graphic t-shirts and micro shorts. It adds a boyish but unique flavor to your style.
My fashion today is freestyle with some funk added to it.
Last but not least is the feminine and exotic look. This style comes from the peace and freedom-loving hippie spirit, also suitable for a rock festival.
It's a festival, so I thought I'd go with a more exotic look.
The diverse patterns and bright colors are feminine but have a unique taste to it. you want to go for a more toned-down rock festival look, you can go with an off-shoulder dress with ethnic patterns. Or there's also loose-fitting knit pullovers or cropped tops that can do the same job. Wear a short cropped shirt that bears your waistline and match it up with ethnic pattern shorts to complete your simple but stylish look. And this was a glance at the Jisan World Rock concert in style. But if there's one thing to keep in mind,
rock festivals are great places to try on things like cropped t-shirts or clothes with crazy patterns and colours that you're not able to wear in your daily life.
This past Saturday, a special concert was held in the demilitarized zone separating the two Koreas, and our Denny Hong was there. Right? Good morning, Denny.
Good morning. Good
Welcome
morning.
back.
Yes, I was actually at the concert. It was last Saturday. It was very hot. The event was actually very meaningful because it was to mark the 60th anniversary of the Korean War armistice, which happened on July 27th back in '53. And so this concert was to raise awareness for those that might be, I guess, it is 60 years ago, so people might start to kind of forget about history in the past. So this was important because not only celebrities were there, but also student soldiers were there too. So there's a lot of different things that were happening, and it definitely was a very heated atmosphere, both temperature-wise as well as for just the excitement and the shows. So let's take a look at what happened at the event last Saturday. The DMZ World Peace Concert at Imjinggak, Paju was held to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Korean War Armistice Agreement. Lead singer Kim Jang-hoon created a buzz for planning and directing the concert while bringing in some of the best talent from around the country. We take you to the DMZ World Peace Concert that carries much meaning for all of those who participated.
I'm here at Imjinggak, where the DMZ World Peace Concert is about to get underway in a couple of hours. Despite all the scattered rain throughout the day, a lot of people are still here in attendance and they're getting ready to enjoy the show, which shall begin in a couple of hours.
In this event, it wasn't only some of the top actors like Ang Seung-gi or Choi Min-soo that drew people in, but K-pop stars including Beast, FX, Girls' Day, and ILY that brought many fans to the site.
I came to see Kim Jang-hoon.
I'm here to see FX. Go FX!
Good luck with Shadow.
I'm really excited about today, and I'll be cheering on.
And the concert being a commemoration of the Korean War armistice, student soldiers who fought in the war were also invited.
This country is the only divided country. And even to this day, the South and North are pitted against each other. It's important in times like this to hold a peace concert.
A documentary on the student soldiers was screened on site, adding more meaning to the event.
You ready? 경기도 DMZ World Peace Concert. Start!
We kick off with FX, which has captivated fans with their new title track Rum Pum 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 from their second studio album, Pink Tape. Melting the hearts of many with their sugary cute makeover and new song Tell Me is Girls' Day.
네, 여러분 안녕하세요. 아일리입니다. 오늘 DMZ 콘서트를 오게 돼서 너무너무 기쁘고요.
Next up is ILY, who has made her mark recently with her song You and I.
다양한 또 가수분들, 선배님들 출연하셔서 온 가족이 함께 또 재밌는 시간 즐기셨던 것 같은데 이 DMZ 평화 콘서트가 얼마 남지가 않았어요. 그러니까 여러분들 아시는 곡들 나오면 다들 힘차게 따라 불러주시고
Lastly, with Beast ranking first on K-pop shows with their new song Shadow, only a week after making a comeback. Leading K-pop idol groups continue to heat up the stage with their performances.
일본에서 랍입니다.
Not only that, despite the icy relations between Seoul and Tokyo on the political front, boy band Love was also invited, drawing some attention. Especially during this DMZ Peace concert, all the celebrities agreed to donate all the proceeds, adding more meaning to the event.
거의 모든 팀이 출연료를 받지 않겠다고 노 개런티로 처음에 얘기를 했습니다. 세계 최초일 것 같아요. 페스티벌 사상 출연자 전원이 기부를 하기로 했거든요.
And it wasn't just younger idol K-pop groups. The planner and director of the entire event, Kim Jang-hoon, also put on an explosive performance, drawing a wild response from the crowd. The DMZ World Peace Concert, where fans and stars joined in with the same hopes for peace across the Korean peninsula and elsewhere, and with this special event, all of those hopes were able to come together.
Definitely looked like a jam-packed night there, and with all the excitement of all the stars being there, I think you can get a little bit swept away on the meaning of this concert. What was the general mood there from start to finish?
Well, initially, of course, just there was kind of a roller coaster of emotions going on because not only was there shows everyone came to see, and like the songs, of course, are more uplifting, but there was also like documentaries were going on, especially for the student soldiers that had fought in the Korean War. So there were times when they tried to bring it down and then, of course, come back up. So I think the overall feel is just, I would say, just kind of nostalgic, but also just trying to keep, again, remembering the past.
So it wasn't just a simple concert, there was also a time period to actually pay
I was
tribute.
actually wondering if they were gonna like maybe like all we are saying is give peace a chance, like doing an old John Lennon homage or something like that, but you know, that didn't happen. But I think overall people did have a good time there. Definitely by the evening when it started, the sun went down, it got a lot cooler, even though it was more humid. But during the day, you can tan in like 5 minutes, right? So I have like little farmer's tan.
Well, the main host of this concert was Kim Jang-un, and he's well known for giving back to society and leading these campaigns on a number of issues, including Dokdo. Now, and this concert, specific concert, was streamed live on YouTube, right?
I think in that case, just because that way a broader audience could see it and of course, you know, get the translation going on too. So definitely because of so many top celebrities being there to perform, I think it was important to have it available to listeners from all across the globe. And also that way they can do the sidestep into the awareness of what was happening during the Korean War and of course the armistice and the importance of it. Because to be honest, I think outside of Korea, people don't really study the Korean War as intensely. You know, even for myself growing up with more of a Western education background, there's only like a week or two that we cover the Korean War in schools. And so I feel like giving a broader knowledge to what happened here on the peninsula is important for a global audience to know.
All right, well, Denny, we'd like to thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed your concert as well. It's very meaningful, and there's a lot more to it than just festivities and song and music and dance, but a tribute as well. Thanks again for joining us.
All right, you're welcome.
And still ahead on Korea Today, summertime brings summer's unique foods and dishes for Boknal. And with the mercury soaring and the final day marking the hottest period of summer just around the corner, we bring you chicken, loach, and eels, all in some nutritious meals to revitalize your body and give you some extra energy to combat the heat.
And a good Friday morning to you all as we begin with international football. Now, of course, earlier this week, PSV finalized a deal with the Queen's Park Rangers that would have Park Ji-sung on loan for the upcoming season. And just yesterday, the loan deal was made official as he was introduced to the media. Now, for the first time in 8 years, the South Korean midfielder comes back to the Netherlands as he was introduced to in front of the media. Now, the one-year loan deal will have him back to where he first started in Europe, where the fan base for Park is still huge. Meanwhile, just moments after the introduction, the South Korean joined the team for training with PSV. And staying in football, it's no surprise that the current South Korean national football team still needs a lot of fixing before the upcoming Brazil World Cup. But the recent FIFA rankings show that it's actually pretty serious. Now, the latest FIFA rankings have Korea dropping 13 spots since the last ranking, as they're now ranked 56th in the world. Now, the reason behind the latest drop has to do with the East Asian Cup, where Korea finished in 4th place after going winless with 2 draws and a loss. Meanwhile, Japan holds on to their top Asian ranking at 37th overall, and Australia dropped 6th spot at 46th overall. And now moving on to some Thursday night KBO action, as all 4 games went into action despite the tropical weather, and the Samsung Lions, after taking a few days off, crushed the Hanwha Eagles 10-3, where Samsung's Bae Young-soo earned his 111th win of his career, surpassing Kim Si-jin for the most wins for a Samsung pitcher. Also, the SK Wyverns beat the struggling Nexon Heroes 4-1. So with that said, let's move on to the other games, starting off with the LG Twins taking on the Lotte Giants. Of course, going into the game here, we go over to the second inning of the game. Sonju in single to left field, check that. That's 1-0 LG Twins. That stays that well until the 5th inning, where Lotte's Chun Junu RBI single ties the ball game at 1 apiece. Now we're going to go over to the bottom of the inning here. Park Yong-taek this time, he's going to send this one to right field. The ball is dropped, and here comes the base runner going home, and he is safe, puts LG up 2-1. Next inning, here's Hwang Jae-gyun single up the middle to center field. This brings home 2 base runners as Lotte takes the lead 3-2. Now, 7th inning of the game, Lotte continues to swing away, including this one. Chun Junu once again. RBI double makes it 4-2 before Lotte Giants' Chung-hoon adds to the lead here with an RBI single to left, 5-2 Lotte Giants. But the bottom of the inning, here comes the LG Twins once again. Bases loaded, Yoon Yo-sup, sac fly, scores a run before this next play. He's been red hot for the LG Twins this season. Park Yong-taek, RBI single cuts the deficit 5-4. Now it's a close game all around, but the Lotte Giants still hang on to win this one. 5-4, your final score, as Lotte now trails Nexon by just a half game. And now next up, the Kia Tigers taking on the NC Dinos. Second inning, Lee Hong-gu at bat, a wild pitch scores the first run of the game, 1-0 Kia Tigers. Third inning here, An Chi-yong at bat, RBI single to left. Kia takes a 2-0 lead. Same inning, here come the NC Dinos. Mo Chang-min RBI double to left field, cuts the deficit before former SK man Lee Ho-jun ties it up with a sac fly, and it's a brand new ball game. We go over to the 4th inning of the game here. Number 9 hitter Lee Hong-gu sends one deep to right, 3-2 Kia Tigers. And we're going to shift over to the 7th inning. Kia up 4-2. No Jin-hyuk's RBI double makes it 4-3 Kia. Before this next play here, 8th inning, super rookie Na Sung-bum deep to right field, back. This game is tied at 4 apiece. Now both teams go scoreless until the bottom of the 12th inning. 2-man on, Kim Sung-wook singles to left, and that's the ball game. NC rallies to win this one, 5-4, your final score. And now finishing things off with the 2013 Asian Basketball Championships. After breezing through in the round of 12, South Korea begins their next challenge, the quarterfinals of the event. And coming up next for the 4-1 South Korea will be Qatar. And just like the South Korean team, Qatar has a 4-1 record as they finished 3rd in their group. And while Qatar isn't known to be powerhouses in the sport, they do have the height advantage over the Koreans, as the two nations are set to face off later tonight. And that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great weekend, everyone, and see you guys again for your sports needs.
Beautiful image of the Han River there.
Right from the Pampo Bridge.
Let's check back with our Idami, who's joining us from the 낙지 설렁탕 전문점, this wetfoot octopus 설렁탕.
It's kind of an unheard of combination, or you might have heard of it, but I haven't. 낙지 wetfoot octopus, and that's in beef broth. We'll find out more about that with Idami.
Well, I hope all of you are hungry this morning. I'm back reporting live from Gangnam at a seolleongtang restaurant. Now, according to the lunar calendar, with the summer days almost over, I thought today I'd try out a nutritious meal to rejuvenate my body with nutrition. And it's none other than seolleongtang with small octopus or nakji. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? Now, here at the restaurant, I want to first show you how they cook their rice. It's not from a normal rice cooker. It's from this cauldron right here. Ooh, look at the steam rising. I'm gonna go ahead and take some rice with me so that I can have it with my seolleongtang with small octopus. All right, the lid is a bit heavy. Now, when it comes to making seolleongtang, the broth is the most important part. What you do is you take beef and then you kind of cook it with the stew, and that makes the broth. And then afterwards, you kind of add the other ingredients that are necessary. And for me, today, this seolleongtang, the most important ingredient would be the nakji, or the small octopus. All right, so the proper way to eat this is, first you gotta put in a bowl of rice. Ooh, look at that. Where's the nakji? Okay, here it is. Okay, and then you can't forget your kimchi. That's right. Okay, so I have some kimchi with me. Gonna have a whole spoonful. It's kind of hot. Kind of cool things off a little. Wow, it's hot, but it's really good. Okay, so later in Korea Eats, Matthew is going to also introduce to us more nutritious meals here in Korea, so stay tuned for that. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my nakji seolleongtang, or seolleongtang with small octopus. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm Idami, Korea Today.
All right, so while Tommy is enjoying her nakji seolleongtang, we're going to be talking about 3 of the healthiest and the heartiest dishes for the summer with Matthew Chung. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your take on the nakji seolleongtang? What's your take on that?
That looked delicious to me. I haven't had breakfast yet. So. But you're right. We're talking about 3 special summer dishes here in Korea. It falls into the category of what's known as 보양식, which basically, at the heart of it, means health food. And it's not just health food in the sense of, just beans and sprouts and, what we kind of traditionally associate being diet food. But rather, this is health food in the sense that it's sort of a well-rounded, nutritious look at some healthful foods. And so let's take a look at some of Korea's best 보양식. It's summertime in Korea. To describe Korean summer food, it's kind of a challenge. What Korean summer food is, it's health food. No, back up. It's not health food, it's healthful food. It's full of those vitamins and nutrients, and it draws upon a history of Korean medicine to get you back up on your feet after a long, hot summer's day. And no other food really brings all this to the table like samgyetang does. It's chicken. All right, so at its heart, samgyetang is a very simple dish. It's chicken stuffed with glutinous rice. It gets some daechu, which are jujubes, and some insam, Korean ginseng. And sometimes some places will use chestnuts, but in this case we're using unaek, which are Korean ginkgo nuts. Just a couple scoops of rice. 1, 2. Bring the leg over. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Here we have 2 varieties. We have the classic, and we have 들깨 samgyetang on this side. 들깨, it's perilla seed, or sometimes translated to wild sesame seed. Now, colloquially, they're known as the 맑은 and the 걸쭉한 samgyetang, meaning the clear and the thick. Despite being braised for a long time, this chicken is still really moist and tender. The thing about chuotang is it's more known as an autumn dish, but the thing is it's eaten year-round because the flavor of the mikuroji, the loach itself, it changes throughout the season. So in the winter it lies dormant, so it's a little bit different there. And in the summertime they're a little bit smaller, they haven't really quite matured, so again, a different flavor there. And it's part of the carp family, so it's a freshwater fish, so it has that flavor to it. But you know, I'm talking too much. I'm just gonna start eating. So in Korean, we have this word, 얼큰하다. It means spicy, but it's a particular type of spicy. It's the spice in a soup or stew that catches you right in the back of the throat and makes you go, ah. And that's what this is. All right, so for our last stop on our Korean summer foods tour, we have eel. The hang-up I think most people have about eels, I think most of it just resides in the name. So we'll just call it 장어 from now on. I mean, they're delicious, and once they're laid out like this, it just looks like fish. And you know what? It's one of the most flavorful and delicious fish out there as far as I'm concerned, so let's get to cooking. Nice color. Feel that sizzle there? That's what you want to hear. This is actually the first eel I've had all summer, so I'm really excited about this. Oh man, hot. I love it when the skin gets really crunchy like that. And you know, when you get good color on there, that's when you start to develop flavor. Now, it's good on its own, but as far as I'm concerned, you want to get a little bit of ginger in there. And then wrap it in a little bit of pickled perilla leaf. Genmi. The whole. You know, the best part about this eel is I know exactly how fresh it is. I just saw it swimming a couple minutes ago. In which 장어, the fresher the better.
This segment is a torture every single Friday morning.
And you saw it swimming just a few minutes ago. Now it's in your stomach.
Indeed, and it's helped was to get me through this tough and hot summer.
Right, and next Monday happens to be 말복, the final day of the hottest season in Korea, and you beat everyone to it because everyone has to get in line to get that samgyetang, right? So you don't have to get in line for that now.
That's the perks, but I mean, you're right. You mentioned the Pongnar, the Pok days, and they're the 3 hottest days of the summer. And this upcoming Monday, it's the 3rd one of the summer. So you're right. That's those are the days where traditionally you go out and have samgyetang. And the thing about samgyetang is that, you know, ginseng, it has adaptogenic qualities to it, which means that it has sort of medicinal qualities, things that, you know, it has stuff in there that can really help you, you know, cure what ails you. But even disregarding all of that, it's a nutritious dish. It's packed full of protein. It's got good carbohydrates in it, and it has water, which is more important than you might imagine. We get most of the water in our diet through the food we eat, not the water we drink. So so taking that in, it's going to help you get through a hot summer's day. And so much of beating the heat is staying healthy and energized, and getting enough food in your belly.
Right. And when it comes to chuotang, you either love it or hate it, and it was very apparent that you were a huge lover of chuotang.
I mean, I will give you this. It is a pretty polarizing dish. And so that's why there are actually 2 styles of chuotang. There's chuotang where the loach or the mikuraji is kept whole, or the type that I have where it's ground. So it looks, it's a little bit longer and it looks a little slithery, so that can put some people off. So if that's the case, then go for the ground type, and then if not, vice versa. Yeah. And the loach is packed with protein, low in fat, and similar to the eel as well. Pound for pound, it has comparable protein to pork with about half the fat, but significantly more vitamins and minerals.
I'm just amazed at how you can just torture us with all those words describing the dishes.
That's right, delicious words like calorically dense.
So was that all in one day that you had all these dishes?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, I'll put it out this put this out there. They're great for they're nutritious dishes to help you beat the heat in the summertime, but maybe don't go for all of them in one day.
Oh, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That sounds like a plan.
There you
nice
go.
Course meal. All right, Matthew, thank you.
Thanks,
Always
Matthew.
a pleasure.
All right, it's Friday, and that brings us to the end of this edition of Korea Today.
All right, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you back here on Pongna on Monday morning.
All right, have a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye.